A very good morning to all of you students. In today's lecture, I, Saurabh Gupta, Assistant Professor at BBA University, is going to bring another important component of technology and communication, and that is sharing electronic information. Like in my previous few lectures of assessing the information and telling you about the concepts of communication and also the aspect of internet and searching the browsers and how has the internet evolved or the history of it. In today's lecture, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you that what are the methodologies or what are the things by which you can actually share your electronic information. See, these days, due to the advent of pandemic and due to the concept of your this COVID-19, what has happened that the situation has become of such a kind that wherein all the information, and as I have told you earlier also, that information provide the basic basis of what the idea, feelings, emotions and the concept should be, so that the particular person is in a position to tell that okay, this is something which is of my need and I'm going to do for that particular thing. So but with the advent of this particular so-called COVID-19, the concept of your information or to just have that information at large has changed drastically. Earlier, what used to happen is that for a particular information, you just go for to a particular library, search the books, and then have that particular thing onto your paper and pen. Just take a paper and pen along with you and just write the main points, and then you have the information of that particular thing. But nowadays, what has happened that the situation has changed it completely. So let us see that what are the basic concepts or how can we actually share the electronic information. To begin with, I will start with the concept of information one more time because I know that my students would need a brush up. Information can be thought of a resolution of uncertainty. It is the answer, it is that which answer the question what the entity is. I have used the same definition which I have earlier also used, that it is basically going to answer your concept of what actually the entity is and define both the essence and the nature characteristics of any kind of an entity. Say, for example, when you say that, okay, what is this showing a particular pen? And automatically, since you know that this is a pen, you will be in a concept to say that, okay, I know this thing that this is known as a pen. Or just by looking at a beautiful red rose, you'll be able to recall that, okay, this is something which is ready to your rose and all. So, the concept of information has different meaning in different contexts. Thus, concept becomes related to the constraint, communication, related to the notions of constraint, communication, data, form, education, knowledge, meaning, understanding, mental stimuli, pattern, perception, representation, and entropy. See, basically, what is happening that the concept or the information or the basic aspect of information has been told to you at large. That what I actually mean to say is that the concept related to the aspect of notion, related to the aspect of your information and all, that okay, this is something which is information all about, has changed drastically. What has happened, students, is that information is now being based upon the communication pattern, the data, the educational knowledge, the meaning, the understanding, and the mental stimuli of any human being. So, in terms of communication, information is expressed either in context of message, which is direct or indirect, or an observation. See, like you all know that what exactly is the term communication and what do we actually need to do upon it is that uh, in today's scenario, what has happened that the aspect of communication has changed at large, and and the thought process was that things are rapidly changing. Communication earlier used to involve only the aspect of non-verbal communication using your gestures and your pictorial representation, because earlier the words were not being there. But Now, since the alphabet and words are being attached to the word to the world of communication, the concept has taken over a drastic change from the gestures to the written communication to the pattern of information sharing to electronic media and all. So things are working in favor of the particular human being or humankind. The English word information apparently derived from the Latin stem information of normative. This is a noun derived from the verb inform or the sense to give from to the mind, to discipline, to instruct, to teach. So basically, information is derived from the Latin stem and it is a kind of a noun. Information is a noun which is derived from a Latin word inform, that is to sense, to give something to your mind. See, what actually is you're going to do with your particular mind aspect is that, or just to explain it further, I just mean to say is that uh, basically this concept of information has hold its backlog or hold its stem from Latin origin, and information is itself a noun that has been derived from a verb inform. That means to add something to the mind aspect. It can be a discipline, it can be an instruction, it can be to teach, to inform, or something like that. Inform itself comes via French informer from the Latin verb inform or which means to give or form an idea. Furthermore, Latin itself already contained the word information meaning concept and idea, but to the extent to which this may have influenced the development of the word information in English is still not clear. See, Latin in the language of your Latin and all, it is already the word information is already there. So why has the people of English derived another component to it? We are still unaware of this aspect. But the concept is that, or the basic phenomena of information is that to give or to attach something to the mind of a human. Excuse me. The ancient Greek word formed upon morphe or morpha is also eros, kind of an idea, shape, set. Later, the word is famously used for technical, philosophical sense. So, basically, by Plato, this concept was being if you just have the Greek origin of the word information, because information is being used, or you can say that information is being used by all of the people, and multiple of definition have arrived. So the Greek aspect given by Plato was that it is something related to a kind of an idea, a shape, or something that acts upon the human internal stimuli to add upon or to work upon that, okay, this is an idea behind this particular information. Importance of information. Now, as you all know, and I've already told you that aspect of information and what are the importance of information. But to add to my words, I would like to say that information is an aid in decision making policy need for the policy makers, decision makers, manager, etc. In my earlier lectures also, I have used the same component. I'm using it one more time with you all students that basically, like I've told in my previous lecture, that it is very much useful in making and forming any kind of policy. See, what is policy? Policy is going to do something for the betterment of the human, for the betterment of the society, or for the business and all. So there has to be some kind of a matter onto which the decision is to be taken, and that matter is being arrived by the basis of your information. For taking the decisions, for the managing the aspect, are all being done on the basis of your information. Information will have a reinforcing, transforming effect on human beings on receiving it. A great deal for change can be perceived in human minds or obtaining the information as it increases the ability of personal knowledge of the recipients. Now, Another importance of information is that it automatically increases the personal knowledge of a human being. That means that the entire personality of the human being will now be changed. And the aspect is that earlier what used to have was that we didn't have that particular concept of information at large, because uh, there were only non-verbal gestures and pictorial representation and all. But with the advent of new terminology and new techniques and all, what has happened that the personal knowledge or information has added to the personal basis, or you can say the personal knowledge aspect of the recipients. Information generate new information. Already told to you that on the basis of one particular information, you can easily generate the information about other things also. How have we know, or how have we came to know that this particular COVID virus is not going to be very, very harmful for you if you use that warm content of water, or if you use those immunity boosters, or if you use mask, or maintain the social distancing parameters? So all this information has already been feeded in a kind of the previous records or the data of any kind of viruses and all, that to prevent any kind of virus you have to maintain these type of things. So that information provided actual basis to have the content that okay, if that is being done in that virus, we can actually do that particular thing into this also, and let's see, and the result have been shown in front of you also. So actually, on the basis of your previous informations, or an information is going to generate another information branch. Uh, to add to it, it is very much useful for the doctors, engineers, scientists, scholars, and all. It supports the research in order of effective and fruitful results. It is very much helpful in betterment of manpower planning and all. A state of art kind of information is a subject to which is helpful for any kind of gaps. Now, what is actually happening is that uh, students just have a concept is that when you have a particular kind of state of art, basically what I actually mean to say, and sorry for the disturbance and all, what I actually mean to say is that when you are actually uh, creating any kind of information, see, communication is all about disturbances and those kind of barriers and all. But information has created such an act and such an aspect that the entire gaps which were earlier being done, they have been fulfilled just on the basis of your informational aspects only. So you can say that the research problems which were earlier not been dealt with ease and convenience have now been dealt with ease and convenience with an aspect of information. Information helps in avoiding the duplication of research. See, if any kind of research, like what actually happens in research is that you take the literature review, you analyze that literature review, and on the basis of that you form your perception regarding that what was the concept and what and how it has been developed by the previous researchers and all, and you are not going to take any of the help from that, but you are going to cite that thing. uh, it is going to avoid the duplication of research. That actually means that you are not going to copy that particular aspect of the previous researcher onto your new research, and that is also not to be done. So basically, information is going to give you the basis. It is going to give you an idea that this has been done previously also, and you have to continue from now onwards. So you have to avoid the duplication of it, and information is doing it at large. Information stimulate the thought process of users. So the thought process of users is being done at large by the information people. Information help the scientists, engineers, scholars, as already been told to you all. Now, that was all of the aspect of your information has to how has the information changed the world of concepts. Now, let us see that what was the origin and growth of electronic information resources. To put it in a simple words, we can say that evaluation, growth of internet, e-publishing industries in the field of information, communication technologies have given birth to your electronic resources. Now, the concept behind electronic information is that earlier or before the concept of your computer was not being evolved by Charles Babbage and the aspect of internet was not being put forward in front of you, or the world has not been a kind of a globalized podium. Earlier, the information were being recorded in the books, in the thesis, and were being stored in the various libraries of different parts of the world. And people only when they have to just assess some kind of thing or want to have those information, they actually have to travel from one place to another place to seek an information. But now, with just a click of a particular mouse, you will be able to explore the entire world in front of you. And that has happened just because of your internet and e-publishing industries and informational technologies and communication at large. So, the origin of electronic information, you can say that the concept is being vested in the hands of your internet and publishing or e-publishing and all that has created the new horizons. Society are transforming into information society. See, now earlier you if you just have to buy a particular product, you would have to actually go to the market and have to rely upon the retailer that okay, I am just at the mercy of your retailer and I'm going to buy that particular thing. If he says it's go okay, I'm going to buy it. But now the consumer is far more aware because you can actually search about your particular product. You can actually work about your particular product. And in this concept of information, you can have n number of resources and n number of ways by which you can obtain the various kind of resources. An electronic resource is defined as any work encoded and made available for access through the use of computers. Now, what is electronic information? Electronic information, like I have told you in my first lecture also of Unit 3, that it is actually a concept wherein you are storing a particular information into the database of a computer and sharing it with the other computers as a mainstream of it. So, what you are doing is that just like a library is or a library of any country is storing books of particular subject and all, and if you want to have a research or you want to do the research, you actually earlier you actually have to go to that particular place, but now you can just click the particular site, open it, and then can enter into the aspect of library. Just ask permission, you can seek the permission and then start your work. So actually what is happening is that everything is there in the database and you can actually access it. Now let us see that there are some of the aspects which have to be dealt in order to see that okay, what is the electronic information access and all. With the advent of world wide web, the eirs have flourished in unprecedented way. And what are eirs? Eirs is electronic information resources have become a focused research and academic activity of the institutions in the recent years. The electronic information resources of the eirs will provide the comprehensive access to the information and of using the best, easier, user-friendly tool and technique. See, an electronic information can be shared by various people with the advent of your World Wide Web. Earlier, the concept of web or the concept of you can say the internet, when it was not there. Like I have told you earlier, people were having just uh, very much. It was totally an impossible task for many of them that to how to obtain this information. Like if you just think about the age of those dinosaurs and all, the researchers or not actually the researchers in the dinosaur age, but I'm talking about the past few years when the electronic information was not being there. uh, the information uh, before the concept of internet uh, this was vested into some kind of books, and scientists actually have to read those books at large and then have to take a survey out of it. But now, with the advent of your World Wide Web, what has actually happened is that just with an option of information which is already being available on the database of any of the organization and all, you can just have the particular thing onto your desktop and can have a look of it. So there are particularly few other aspects which you need to know is that the first thing is e-journal. Now, what are e-journals? E-journals are defined as any serial publication published and distributed nationally and internationally via electronic network such as internet. During 1970s, the e-journal were distributed on CD-ROMs. In 1987, the first peer review of New Horizon in adult education was being distributed on internet. It was first published by Saros University under the Knowledge Project, Kellogg's project. It was Isaac 2 code and it was free accessible by Bitnet list servers. The first peer review electronic full text encoding graphics was published in the year 1992. Jester or General Storage Project is the first retrospective electronic archiving project for printing the journals established in the year 1993. With the same year, Goofer became ambitious, but they were quickly being replaced by www. So, a World Wide Web, to be specific of. So, what are e-journals? If you just have a look at what exactly do you mean by the e-journals, you first have to analyze that what is the concept of journal. Journal is going to contain any kind of knowledge, or it is going to contain the research papers of all those academicians or all those people who are doing a research into the particular aspect in such a manner that it could be easily being sorted by those who are going to do the future research of it. If you talk about general at large, that what is an aspect of general, and why do we actually need it? We need it just for the reason that we are all in a habit of researching more and more. And since belonging to the aspect of your academicians and all, it is a must for each one of us to just have a preview of more and more information so that the aspect can be developed at large. Now the problem is that uh, earlier the journals were being published and they are being pasted onto the paperwork and kept in the libraries of different countries. But the concept of e-journal has defined many of the serial publications, and as a concept of what during the years of 1970, the e-journal was being distributed on CD-ROMs in the year 1970, because before that particular phase of time, the journals was not into existence, or if they were in existence, they were already being kept to the book at large. Uh, what happened actually was that the concept of e-journal came on CD-ROMs. I hope that you know that ROM stands for read-only memory. You can only read on it. You cannot edit that particular thing. In the year 1987, the first peer review and the first journal that came into existence was New Horizon in Adult Education. So this was the very first e-journal which was being launched for the purpose of peer review, the review by the researchers or the academicians or the people who are actually into the aspect of research and all at large. And it was being sold off, or you can say the accessibility of that particular thing was being done via Bitnet list of server. The server client was Bitnet, and the first peer review included the graphics that was being published in the year 1992. And Jester was the first electronic media or electronic journal to actually publish the archiving aspect. What are archives? Archives are just a kind of a thing which you can actually retrieve. Say for example, if you write a research paper and then you write a research paper and then you just do not try to publish it, or you can publish it for the convenience of others. What the company does is it take as an aspect of archive and take a collection of that particular thing and maintain a kind of a database. So basically what is happening is that e-general is a kind of a component, or e-general is a kind of a mechanism by which the information that was being earlier being stored in the various libraries of your generals and all was now being electronically being served. And the concept of e-general was that to distribute the information to the other researchers at large, so that the concept of information could not be vested in few hands. Now, what are the typical types of e-journals? There are classic e-journals, parallel e-journals, database model, software model, CD-ROM journals, full text journals, and electronic only journals. Let us give a quick recap of what it is all about. Classic e-journal are available through internet applications such as email, but now these journals are available on web, and only alert of new journals are distributed by the mail. See, classic e-journals are going to include the information regarding the retrospective model of, you can say, just it's going to involve the those kind of elements that is going to be there for the past reviews and all, which is not which can be distributed by using your emails, but now it is being distributed by other mediums also. Parallel e-journals are available in both print and electronic form. Database model, as you all can know by the name itself, that it gets a database of it. CD-ROM are commercial publishers. They are basically the commercial publishers at large. Full text journals, they're available for the just the summaries of the abstract. They are just the summaries. They are not the full aspect of it. Completely available journals are rather just than a summary. Full text general, uh, I will repeat one more time that full text general is going to involve all the aspect of text in detail, including the abstract, because at times what happens that only the past part of the abstract is being available, that okay, you can access to this particular abstract, but you cannot access to the full length of full in general. And if you want to access the full length general, you have to actually pay for that particular thing. Electronic only journals are those journals that are being only available electronically. No counterparts like CD-ROM are available for it. They are electronically only journals. That means there is an option in general. You can have that particular print format, or you can publish that particular thing onto the net, or you can have your particular aspect of thing in the near future when you will writing a research paper and all. It is going to incorporate a thing that there are two options. First option is that you can actually hold the company to give you the certificate along with the hard copy of that particular journal, or you can tell the company that okay, I don't want the hard copy, or I don't want the certificate. You can just maintain the archive of it, and I will be able to only access it, and whenever I want I can download that particular thing. Now, the next and the most important, and one of the most interesting aspect is ebooks. We all are in a habit of reading numerous of novels. I personally also read quite a few. Uh, but now with an advent, earlier what was happening was that the concept of books or reading books uh, was not being so much so in trend. But with the advent of these e-books and all, or the e-content that was being electronically printed, and the new aspects of books have been related to it in such a manner that people are now being attracted towards it. Electronic books is characterized by any of the books. It is just like any other book, which can be downloaded and read on the computer or on personal device. The best example is Kindle. It's a kind of an ebook only, an ebook platform where you can actually download a particular book, read that book, and just assess to the other aspect also. Uh, to add to it, the content is distinguishable with the exception that there are additional features such as bookmark, link between the issues, and solutions also. Ebook can offer the convenience and portability since can be stored on the personal library ebook, computer laptops, and handheld gadgets. See, what is the basic advantage of having an ebook, and what is the advantage of not having, or a disadvantage of not having an ebook? A particular simple book, if you just read it, on one time and then read it another time or twice, thrice, or four times, right? It will have those doggy ears and all, and the concept will be that people will not be able to actually associate to it. These days, those talking about the new generation and all, we all are in a habit of reading everything onto net. We are in a habit of reading e-newspapers. We are in a habit of surfing net a lot. We are in a habit of having holding the tablets into our hand and continuously surfing that particular net. So many of us, or most of us, who are having the awe for that particular books, they are in a habit to read the books on to the net. It is very convenient, and it is one of the most easiest thing because there are many of the option. You can bookmark onto it, you can add your particular reviews onto it, or you can actually communicate by using the particular aspects of the book, of the books and all. So electronic book has same content as there in the printable books also. There is a context, there is a cover page and everything, but some of the ebooks are also built with a hyperlinks. Now, hyperlink, what is a hyperlink? Hyperlink is going to allow you to search that what is the meaning of that particular thing. Say, for example, just by reading a particular book, you come across a particular word, Sisyphean. Now, Sisyphean means never ending, or it is a new word for you all, or supercalifragious. That means extraordinarily beautiful. It, it is going to have that hyperlink. You can actually click on that particular word, and the new page of dictionary or the new aspect of thing will be opened, and you can actually assess that what this particular word or from where the things have been come. It is going to add to your vocabulary. You can actually enhance your vocabulary at large by reading those ebooks and all. Just to continue it further, we can just say that electronic books provides a lot of feature that are not possible in print books. You can basically provide the flexibility of library information search centers like accessibility 24/7, internet access and internet access is there. It proves cost saving also. Electronic books retrieval of electronic increases the staff efficiency. E-books are also provide immense helpful to the disabled persons. See, basically, e-books has created a kind of a concept which is not only being adopted by the youngsters, but it is being adopted by those who are of age also. Because the thing is that everything is there, or the content is there onto the aspect of it, and we can actually, with a click of a button, you can such you can just turn the pages. You just need not to hold the page one more time, and then those kind of dog ears will develop, and those pages will just go dismantle and all. So ebook will never get dismantled. Ebook will be cost effective, and at the same time, see, a basic aspect is of everything related to the cost. If you buy a particular book onto from a library, it will cost you somewhere between 590 or 640 or much more than 900 also at times. Because superior novels or superior people, they publish a series of a very good price. But if you are going to buy that particular thing on from Amazon, or just from going to buy that particular thing by using ebook content like Kindle and all, so that is going to give you an advantage also, first of all. Secondly, it will be a cost effective aspect. You can search the entire library 24/7. You cannot search the library 24/7 all the time. You cannot go to the library and sit over there. But in Kindle, you can search the library and download that particular thing. So it is of use to all of us. Now, for the most important aspect, database. Database is basically a collection of information organized in such a way that the computer programs can be quickly selected desired piece of data. Book.google.co.in. It is regularly updated file and digitalized information related to the specific subject field containing the records information of the format organized, ease of speed and all. Web-enabled database will be easily accessible using the users aspect of it. Database will contain the general articles, reference articles, ebooks, references, and all. Now, what is a database? You all, when you have all joined this particular university, you would be given a kind of an academic registration form and an examination form, and then you will be asked to give your data to tell you that what is the name of yours, what is the father occupation, what is the income of father, then what are your address, what are your marks in 12th, what are your marks in 10th, what are your hobbies, what are your likes and dislikes, and a kind of a judgment of it that you will not indulge in any kind of activities which are illegal and all. This thing will be given in a kind of an academic registration form or proctor's form, whatever it is, by whatever name it comes in different university. In your university, it is proctor's form and also academic registration form. So this particular thing, when you're going to provide your data to onto that particular aspect, what will happen? It is going to create a kind of a data, and the particular coordinator is going to have that particular data. They make a file of it and then keep it with themselves. Now, first thing is that we can keep it in a form of file. Second thing is that when we are when we want that the thing should not get captured or the thing should not get dismantled and all. So what we will do, we will now create a database of yours onto our Excel sheet and then going to save that particular thing for a longer period of time. With this, the concept will be that whatever information which you will be giving it, that will be saved for by the end of your years also. By the time you pass out your BBA, you will be able to just associate with. You can access that data anytime. Not you, but we as a teacher can access that data anytime, any way we want. Features of database are going to store large quantity of information. Database make it easy to retrieve information. Database help to organize the information, and it provide facility for printable and distribution also. I hope it is clear. Bibliography database, like in this particular very interesting cartoon of this particular person, or you can say this, what is the particular cartoon says, sorry bub, you are not in our database. This particular spirit of bub has actually traveled from one place to another place, and the person and the holy angel over there is saying that sorry, you are not in our database, you are being shifted to somewhere else. This is just a kind of cartoon. Database, typically database, bibliography database, if you just go onto it, it will have the author, title, subject, and everything regarding to the rich description and form of short form of abstract and keywords. Bibliography database is why it is being created, just to give you an information of it, just to give you an information of the words at large or the information about the authors at large. Full text database is a compilation of documents or other information in which the complete text is referred to the document. For instance, IEEE Explore not only provide index citation reference general, but it also provide the entire text. Now, just to add to my e-general concept, the IEEE Explore is a kind of an aspect where that is not going to include only that abstract part, but it is also going to include the full data or the full text information. Like in the full text e-general, I have told you that there is a concept of having the full and general, and there is a concept of having the abstract only. Over here, the data has been provided in such a manner that you will be actually having the entire general or the entire you can say the research paper in front of your eyes. To talk about the fourth element, that is a blog. I hope it is a very interesting to some of you, because writing a blog is one of the most interesting feature of any of the writer. I myself write quite few of us, and the thing is that blog is a very simple web page by which you can actually communicate with your people about any kind of information or any kind of thing that is of your particular subject. It is defined as a website that contains an online personal general reflection and comments, and often it is provides the writers like Merriam-Webster Dictionary.com is a kind of a blog that is basically going to provide an information about a particular subject, about the matter content, and is going to be a kind of a thing. You can say Wikipedia is also a kind of a blog, but you cannot associate that thing with a blog because it is going to contain information, and the aspect of posting thing is not there. So basically, to talk about blog is going to contain all the information and all the personal things that you can actually write onto the net and publish it. Then as soon as you publish that particular blog, and the more content or more traffic that is being attached to that particular blog, you can actually not only earn name and fame, but you can also earn money by your blog writing. So blog writing is, uh, for many of us, writing is just a kind of a very tedious thing, but for those who write a lot or who are in a habit of writing, for them it is always necessary to write a blog. Blog are of various types. First, personal blog. Personal blog is an ongoing diary. Say, for example, what is a blog? If you just say that what kind of element is being involved in your personal blog, blog is all about those blah 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 and all. Like in your particular cartoon, it is saying that it is going to contain all those blah blah and all that is going to be there in your personal life, because like many of us are in a habit of writing our daily activities, that okay, now today I wake up at that particular morning, then I'm to write this thing, then have a cup of tea, then have the cereals and all. So this is kind of personal blogging. You're actually associating your personal life to the people, and many of us are in a habit of doing this thing. uh, Collaborative blogs or group blog. Uh, in this type of blog, posts are written and published by more than one author. See, basically, collaborative blog is that when you are writing a particular blog in just combination with someone, or not to be specific about combination, but you can say in addition, or you can actually take that particular person's preview also. Microblogging. Microblogging is an act of posting small pieces of digital content that contains text, pictures, links, and media onto the internet, which offers portable communication mode to share useful information. Now, many of us are in a habit of posting that posting on Facebook, those kind of comments, those lifelong things, and all. That is not a blog. Microblogging is something that is going to be posted in a kind of a there is a site also for microblogging and all, in which you're going to post small pieces of digital content, and that content, see, there is a difference between content and there's difference between kind of writing. The general way of writing, okay, today I'm not feeling well, or today I'm not in a good mood, today my things are going very happily, I'm very enthusiastic about something like that. So that is a comment, or that is a kind of piece of writing. But microblogging is sharing of some kind of information, a useful information. Remember this particular thing. Internet, the basic and the most important thing. Internet, that has been already been told to you, that internet is the main component of sharing electronic information at large. OPEC. What is OPEC? OPEC is online publishing accessing catalog, an online database of material held by a library or group of library. Users can search library catalogs, locate books and material available in OPEC. Just to have the advantage of OPEC. OPEC, just to give you one more review of what OPEC is all. OPEC is basically an online database of material that is being held in library. See, many of the people are in a habit of searching net quite often. And when you are searching a net quite often, you are in a habit of accessing OPEC at large. And what OPEC is doing, OPEC is actually creating a kind of a material substance for any kind of thing. To add to the advantages, it is an automated thing. It saves valuable time. It, since OPEC system are being self-tested, it is easy to use. It is flexible testing selection. It provides ultimate space for the time and all. Now, patent. Patent is a kind of thing, or to be just specific of that, what is patent and all. Patent is a kind of an aspect. Patent defines a means of protecting the physical embodiment of certain class of new useful invention. See, patent is a kind of a thing that is being involved to you or is being given to you in such a manner or in a kind is a kind of an information by which you can actually tell, okay, this is my thing and I won't be able to do that particular aspect. And once the patent is being granted by the owner, will is in a position to hold the particular thing as of convenience. Patent is going to involve the ownership, permission, exclusive right for the person at large to just that this good belongs to me. Say, for example, if I just make a patent of this particular slide, so this slide is going to be belonging to me only, and an electronic information is being promoted by that this particular slide is belonging to this particular person. Will now be a kind of a thing that nobody will be able to copy the content, and this is going to create a kind of aspect that the information overload or the duplicacy of information won't be there. Standards. Standards is a document that provide requirement specification, guidelines, and characteristics that are being used contained for the particular thing. Dictionaries. Now, online dictionaries are also being there. Online dictionary like you can say OPED and all. Online thesis and dissertation. Now, online thesis and dissertation, like Oxford English Dictionary, defines the thesis as a long essay dissertation involving the personal research. So, just to give it another angle, there is a concept of thesis and there's a concept of dissertation report, which we prepare in our later part of your management and all. So the concept is that there is an aspect of an offline thesis and an offline dissertation aspect, and an online thesis and an online dissertation aspect, where in the information is being contained in both of the thing are same, but the thing which is online can be assessed by other people also as a kind of an information, and the those things which are being held in the book form are being kept to yourself. So let's make a quick recap of what we have done. We have done that what is information, we have done the importance, we have done the origin and the growth of electronic information, sharing in electronic information, and other modes of sharing the electronic information at large. So, to the best of my ability, I have worked upon that how or in which manner can you actually share your information with the other people. If still there are any doubts or you are not in a position to understand any of the word or any of the sentence or any of the slide, you can come directly to me onto my cubicle. You can write me a mail on my mail ID, or you can also text me on my WhatsApp. And don't think that information will not be provided to you. Information will be provided to you by using a very suitable medium, and you will be able to have the correct and the clear information that is going to make your career. Till my next lecture, thank you.